Hello, everybody. We're doing something a little different right now. This is a little something from the old days, certainly. Pull that in. One of the classics. We're playing Dragon Quest. There we go. A button. Yes, this is the granddaddy of the JRPG genre. It all started here on the NES, ages ago. Although what we're playing here, let me just type my name here, Jesus. It's like 84, 85 in Japan. I know it released a couple of years later in North America. It was actually given away for free with Nintendo Power. Jesus, descendant of the legendary warrior Erdrick. We've been awaiting your arrival. Long ago, the legendary warrior Erdrick was given the Ball of Light by God. With its power, he defeated the demons that had covered this world. Then the evil Dragon Lord appeared. He stole the Ball of Light and then sealed it away in darkness. Before long, this world may be totally enveloped and destroyed by this darkness. Brave Jesus, please defeat the Dragon Lord and return the Ball of Light by any means possible. If you open the treasure chest over there, the contents should aid you in your journey. Also, if you speak to the soldiers in this room, they can give you important information about your quest. Well then, be off, Brave Jesus. Search. So as you can probably see, a lot of this is, cool, the torch. Take that. A lot of this is, menu-driven. The SNES version is a nice little bonus. Do you know about Princess Gwaelin? Princess Gwaelin is the only beloved daughter of the king. So when the queen passed away, Princess Gwaelin helped support the king's broken heart. Then half a year ago, the princess was kidnapped by demons. The king doesn't ever speak about that. But I know he is suffering from the depths of his heart. Jesus, please go forth and rescue Princess Gwaelin. Yes, that's what passes for a subplot. Remember, NES era, but like I was saying, this was the SNES version has a nice little macro set to the X button, to where you can press it and the thing that you would want to do in that context will happen. In the NES version, you have to actually go to the menu and select talk. That's how you would talk to people. Anyway, like I said, this was an early game for the NES, given away at Nintendo with Nintendo Power after it failed to sell all that well. The JRPG genre never really caught on in America pre Final Fantasy VII. Yes, they do break. So these games were mostly niche. I loved them to death when I was a kid. I played damn near anything I got my hands on. Of course, that wasn't helped with the fact that I couldn't get my hands on much, but you know how it goes. When you enter a cave, it's good to have a torch, because caves are filled with the powers of the darkness. And there are more monsters in caves than out in the countryside. What else? Oh yes, the NES version, which was the only one officially released in America until the Game Boy Color, had this hilariously funny translation, which was filled with old-timey English. You know, lots of thous and these and halves and stuff like that. You know, they really wanted to dwell in on that sort of aesthetic, you know. Anyway, this being a early Nintendo RPG, as you can tell what we're doing, we are grinding. Yes, sir. We are gonna grind ourselves retarded. This will be the only video in this series where I actually show myself grinding, because it is part of the game, and it's something you do have to show. But it's not a very pleasant part of the game. Not really a pleasant part of any of these games, really. It's just grind, 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 grind. Yeah, it's not cool. Alrighty then. So yeah, what you're fighting here is not the most impressive set of enemies, I can tell you this much. You start with some money. You earn money by killing monsters, because of course. Yeah, that's how it rolls in these kind of games. When you compare them to, say, something of the more Western fare, where you would get all the crap that enemies drop, like shields and swords and weapons and shit, and you would sell those for your money. That's ironically enough that you get rich a lot quicker in Skyrim or Morrowind or the like than you do here, because of all that crap you could sell. But no, here you gotta work for your money by killing monster after monster after monster. And this red slime is putting a foot to my ass here. Oh, good, good. And we have gained our first level. Alright, rose to level 2. Strength increased by 2. Max HP by 6. And another 4 gold. Now, here in Tantigal Castle. Yep, here in Tantigal Castle, you can go to this old man over here and get your magic topped off, which would be useful if I had any spells, but as you can see, I don't have any spells. So what I gotta do instead is go over here to the neighboring Tantigal town. Welcome to the town of Breckenary. Oh, nope. Many brave young souls have set out from Tantigal on their travels, only to perish. But for you, I wish the best of luck. Well, that's not ominous at all, right? Let me see if I can buy a good weapon here. Let's see here. Copper sword. I could probably wing it a little while. I mean, there's other stuff you can get, but I try to hold on until I can get to that copper sword, because that really helps early on to have a good strongish weapon. That way, it's not as hard to say move on to other areas of the map. That slime got killed pretty easy. The extra strength that you get from leveling, you know, if you're smart and you play your cards right, you can really feel the power that you get by leveling. Now there are, of course, games that took that shit way too damn far, but it's. But, you know, I cut this game a lot of slack because, let's be honest here, this is one of the first of these kind of games. Certainly the first to be popular over in Japan. But yeah, especially at first, the going is very slow. Very slow indeed. Yes. Slime attacks. Fuck you. Here we go. And it gets kind of hard to to discuss shit after a while with just fucking grinding. Let's see, how did I first become acquainted with this game? Ah, yes, I was just getting into my teens, and a neighbor that we talked to. Well, not a neighbor; they were on my block. They weren't next door or anything. You know, the guy I saw. We went to this guy's house one day, and I noticed this one game had a pretty cool art cover, and I was like, "Hey, how's this game like?" And he said, "It sucks, man. You can have it. It was for free with Nintendo Power." I was like, "Okay." I started playing with it. Couldn't get enough. Just fucking plowed through it. Yep. And I wouldn't get a hold of 2 until it was in high school, but like not too long after I found the first one, I played through 3, played through 4. 5 and 6 didn't come out in America. They wouldn't come out until the DS remakes. 5 and 6, I mean. 7 was hot fucking garbage. And 8, of course, is the one that everyone fucking jizzes all over themselves for. It's a good game, don't get me wrong. I mean, I will say this for the Dragon Quest series. They stick very close to the vest. They don't change a lot of stuff. And that might seem a bit off-putting if you follow the series for a while. Personally, I'm waiting for the Switch release of 11. Yay! But, yeah, cool, I found the heal. And now we can go over here. We can talk about the guy, the free magic guy. And he really helps with, building up cash for your grind. So, you come over here. Spiel. When the Dragon of Darkness spreads its wings, it marks the arrival of the descendant of Eric. May the light shine upon the darkness, God Almighty. May the light shine upon the hero of legend, Jesus. Now, I have that done. I go spell, heal. And now my wounds are healed, and I can go back. And get another shot of magic. It's actually quite easy. So now I am back to full health, which, granted, it's not much because I'm only at level 23. But it's still a fair bit compared. Let me see how I'm doing. I'm getting close to that copper sword, y'all. Getting real close. Oh yeah, this is what you do, and the I've always found encounter rates in these games an odd thing. Like when you're grinding, it could take forever to between battles. But then, like, out of nowhere, you don't really think about it. You're just chilling and trying to get an objective done, and then it's like monster. Like, where the hell were you guys when I was grinding? That kind of thing, you know? Another death. Sorry about that. But yeah, encounter rates are always a funny thing in these games. A lot of them have been very annoying. Anyway, I got sidetracked a little while ago. Like I was saying, Dragon Quest doesn't really change a lot, but while it does make it feel a bit stale if you play a lot of them at one time, You know, if you go back to back on Dragon Quest games. It does prevent the series from becoming as nonsensical as, say, Final Fantasy. Like, the Final Fantasy series used to be a very good one, too. But it's pretty obvious that around the time of the PS2, the wheels fell off the wagon, as it were. And now it's the sort of cinematic game that would make Kojima blush. Annoyingly long cutscenes, nonsensical storylines, that sort of thing. You say what you will about Dragon Quest, they stay mostly gameplay centered, which I appreciate. I appreciate that shit. Alright, let's fight, bitch. That's what's up. Yes, it can take a while. Also, yes, I noticed that that your character sprite has a sword in his hand. Again, remember, this is a very early game, so you don't really have a lot of equipment switching that reflects on your character sprite. Kill. Now I have to give props for this view right here. You'll notice that right when you start, when you get out of the castle, you'll notice there's another just sinister-looking castle across the river. That's where the final boss of the game is hanging out. And it's a very good way to set up, to hype the player up, to really give them a taste of what's to come, a goal to get to. Like, I'm gonna get over there, I'm gonna kick that guy's ass. It's something you don't really see a lot, and it owes to the size of the map. You know, the Alefgard region is not very big at all. Which is funny because it's actually downsized when you get to Dragon Warrior 2. Another day, another red slime. Ooh, this one's playing around. Look at this. You might wonder why I'm using this particular version. Well, one, it's prettier. Two, the music is nicer. You know, it's don't get me wrong, the music on the NES game was actually quite impressive. But it really amazes me how much work went into making this one look so much better. And a lot of that work even carried over to the Game Boy Color version. I personally don't like that version because of the amount of text that's crammed into the small screen. It's just not a good experience when you're playing on a low resolution type of setup, which, you know, it doesn't get much lower resolution than the fucking Game Boy, right? Hey, cool! I got another level. How do you like that? We are level 4, and we have another spell. Let's see, we have 211. That means I can get that copper sword now. And of course, now that I'm not looking to grind anymore, hey, we get another one. Seriously, fuck you, pal. But it's cool. It's a red slime, whatever. Level 4, it's not a big deal. You go over here to Bricknary. Hey, you talk to Fat Boy over here. This is a weapon shop. How may I help you? And that shit, that's what's up. Copper sword. Right now, hell yeah. Yes, it is best to equip things. I don't have enough money to get armor to go with it, but that's cool. Now that I have this sword, I can kill things a lot quicker. which allows me to more effectively attack enemies, which will help the money get in quicker. Yeah. Get another shot of that magic. Yes. RPG 1 was a group in the early aughts, late 90s, early aughts. Did a lot of these high-profile RPG translations. I remember their founder, Chris RPG, died of AIDS a few years back, and that's why the group kind of stopped, which, you know, goes to figure. When your linchpin's gone, everything kind of falls apart. But their work was always real good, you know? And I can tell you, they're missed. Nowhere near enough people trying to do good translations, at least of these big, fucking huge RPGs. And it's always good to see, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, now we have our sword. We can more easily attack different enemies, which gives us a wider range of places to grind in. And of course, the tougher the enemy, the more gold you get. Now, this is a very important thing to note. You want to be very careful how quickly you traverse the world. While death isn't permanent in the game per se, when you die, you lose half your gold. So if you've been saving up for, say, a new weapon or a new bit of armor or what have you, death can be a real impediment to getting that new equipment. And if you're not careful, you can get very impatient, and you just keep getting into the hole of losing more and more money. So it's very important to take your time, grind, and make sure you're doing all the right things, as it were. There's another motherfucker. What's up with this shit? Alright then. Yes. As you can see, the encounter rate has kind of risen up. That seems to also be affected by how far you travel. Like when I was just going around in a circle near the castle, I wasn't getting that many. But now that I'm moving around more, feeling a little more confident with my sword, I get a lot more enemies. I'm not sure how the algorithm works. If anybody could explain that to me, how that's set up in this game, that'd be interesting. Is it like an amount of steps? Is it is it how far you travel in a certain amount of steps? I mean, how does that work? Ugh. I'm so sick of these fucking slimes. Thankfully, they're a very early enemy, so you won't find too many of them. Say on the second and third islands that you go to. But there is certainly more to the Dragon Warrior than walking around and thwacking slimes. As pronounced as that seems in this video. Shit. You also have to go into town and talk to people. Now, we've gone to town a couple of times, but not for anything major. Open the town of Breckenridge. Yeah, we talked to that dude. That dude is hidden behind a door, so we can't get to him. This is the vault where you can store golden items. That is new for this version. That actually started with Dragon Warrior 3. Here we'll walk into poisonous swamps. We'll lose life and become weaker with each step. But yeah, the vault was something that first made its debut in 3. Basically, you'd go there and you'd put money and items and stuff into there so that you wouldn't lose them when you die. No, I'm not Princess Wyland. But hey, you're the one handsome stud. I'm not letting you out of my sight. And then she kind of walks around with you. Huh? Oh, intrude. Alright. That's gonna be, south of Tentacle Castle. On the other side of the sea, you will see another castle that is enshrouded by a thick fog. That is the Dragon Lord's castle. It's unimaginably frightful. But yeah, the Proof of Erdrick, that's gonna be part of the, later game. An item shop. No, we're not gonna be doing that, because I have enough money for the leather clothes. At least I think that's what it's called. Let's go here. Yeah, I know it's a weapon shop. I just bought a fucking sword from you. Let's buy the leather clothes. And there we go. We now have some armor to go with our weapon. You walk around, most of the people have jack shit to say. Did you know? No. It seems there's a town somewhere that sells magic keys. That's Rimeldar, but that's later on. The legendary minstrel Garin played a silver harp. I heard it was buried with him inside his grave. I'm setting some spells that will help undo a curse. If you're ever cursed, come to me. I will certainly help you. Yeah, if you ever find any cursed items, they'll be stuck on your person until you can get the curse undone, and that's what that dude's for. So yeah, he's very handy. It's the town of Garenham, which is far to the north of this town. It's a small town on the northwest peninsula. With every move I made, I was swarmed by horrible monsters. It has been a miraculous and depressing struggle just to live. I feel I can get... The first clue seems to be that there's something... that there's a town up north. When you leave this town to travel, be wary of bridges. Terrible monsters are waiting to strike unprepared travelers. Basically, the monsters get real bad when you cross bridges. I don't know about real bad, but they get pretty bad when you start crossing bridges. Anyway... You might as well ask around that town up in the northwest peninsula. But before we do that, you might have noticed there was a cave along the way. This one, as a matter of fact. So let's just walk in. And this is the, what you call a bit of asshole design that these games had. This first game, anyway. You needed the torch to light up your surroundings, and it really only lit up this little tiny bit. And what's worse, the torch only lasted so long. I remember when I was a kid, I would often have a thing happen where the torch would go out, and I'd be stuck feeling around, trying to figure out where the fuck I was going. Thankfully, they stopped doing this shit after that game. Hey, cool. There we go. As soon as you reach the tombstone, the message is etched into it. Descendant, my name is Erdrick. 3 items were necessary to cross to the Island of Evil, which can be seen from Tentacle Castle. I collected these items, crossed the island, and defeated the evil king. I then entrusted those items to 3 wise men in the kingdom. Their descendants protect those items and await your arrival. When an evil demon rises once again on the island, collect those items and slay the creature. The 3 men await your arrival somewhere in this land. Go forth, my descendants. And that's the objective of the game. You have to find 3 items in order to reach the Dragon Lord's castle. And let's see. Here we are. And now we can get the hell out of here. Nope. Yeah, these were very maze-like. Which is why the whole torch thing was very much asshole design. Oh boy. I'm gonna rewatch this fucking video. It's gonna look so easy. There's the fucking exit. Anyway, we're done with that. The cave didn't have much, but it gave us a guideline as to how the game's gonna go, as it were. Yes, die for me, thank you. And here we are, Garenham. Yeah, sure, why the hell not? Him. Yeah, you're not quite what you call talented yet, homie. Welcome to Garenham, the town of the ancient minstrel. Very long ago, after a lengthy struggle, the minstrel Garen ended his long journey in this land and built this town. Therefore, this place is called the town of Garenham. Yeah, you can tell these guys are not what you'd call the most, I saw everything! A monster kidnapped the Princess of Tanzigal and flew her to the east. Is there any brave person who can... Oh, there is? Tell that person... Oh, dude. Yeah, he just can't conceive that it would be me, right? That's funny as fuck. Anyway, see if, the door is locked, so... I can't access half the fucking town because I don't have a magic key. That's fine. And these guys didn't exactly give us a heap fucking ton of knowledge, but hey, worth a shot. Yes. Jesus. You know what I told you earlier? Like, when you don't want to grind, fucking hell, the monsters come. I don't know how the game knows when you want to grind and to just slow the monsters down to fuck with you, but... Get that. You'll notice sometimes that the monsters don't notice you when an encounter starts. It's very tempting to just run. In fact, it's very tempting to run from a lot of these fucking battles. But it's not a good idea since, you don't get experience, you don't get gold. And you need both of these things to make it, as it were. Some more drinkies. Fuck down. And we're just, looking around. And now we have a very, intense enemy. And that's why you need magic sometimes. And hey, we got ourselves a level. But yeah, that guy was not, that guy who said to be careful crossing the bridges, he wasn't kidding. Not being careful when you cross those bridges will fuck you all the way up. Thankfully, it seems these guys flame up real good. And here we have a little town. So where are we going? Good day, this is the village of Cole. Good day indeed. Hey, get a load of this. The husband of poor Cleo over there skipped town to buy some magic keys. That good-for-nothing man left behind his lovely wife. I mean, really. That's alright. I didn't want to be a burden on his dreams. Fuck, what kind of dreams is going to be, going to involve buying a bunch of keys? Oh no, the shop doesn't have the legendary sword either. After all I went through. Yeah, the legendary sword's going to be in some fucking store. Hey, you. I can see that soon when a beautiful woman looks upon the face of a hero. She will fall in love. What a lucky person. Here. Have you already traveled to the island south of here? No. I hear that Rumaldar is on that island to the south. Yes, we will be going to Rumaldar at some point. Welcome. This is an open-air bath. Hey, good looking. Nah, I'm good. That's another thing that debuted in Dragon Warrior 3, the Poof Poof. Basically, you'd pay, the screen would go dark, you'd have these texts that suggest a really frisky massage, and then it goes light as a fucking dude. What? No, I didn't want to do that. The boundaries of the towns can be a little difficult to discern, by the way. What did I want to show you? Oh yes, that dude over there. Fuck. Piece of shit. You'll notice. Oh shit. He's got these purple shits around him. When you touch him, you take damage, as you can see. You can't get the dragon lord with that weapon. There should be a sword that Erdrick left behind somewhere in the slant. Check it out. Yeah, I needed you to tell me that. As you can see, it's not much. It's 1 HP per block, but it adds up at a certain part. Inside the cave to the south, someone said they saw a beautiful woman. However, that cave is full of monsters. So there can't be a beautiful woman in there. I guess he was just seeing things. Little does he know. I hear that the golem, a gigantic monster, has a weakness for the sound of a flute. You will not have the power to defeat the monster if you only fight it. You need to think about your opponent's weaknesses. A flute, eh? Welcome. Let's see what items you got, bitch. Dragon scale. Here it is. Thank you. Over here to the items. Use. Put on the dragon scale. And that gives you a very small defense boost, but it's a defense boost nonetheless. So it's something that's worth doing. Every little bit helps, as they say. No, wait, that's not the button. Nothing there. No items. Yeah, boy. Yeah, big greasy guy doing that. That's not nice. Anyways, when you're away from the castle, it's good to hang out at inns every once in a while. That'll power you up, both your magic and your life. That's the plan, homie. Anyway, we have traveled a couple of towns, and we are apparently none the wiser as to where the fuck we're supposed to go. Again, remember, very early NES game, so they hadn't figured out how to give people direction yet, as it were. So a lot of the game, and indeed a lot of the second game, is just kind of wandering around like, where the fuck do I go? Bye, bitch. That's what's up. Come on. Basically, how Dragon Quest, what Dragon Quest 1 boils down to is, you get strong enough to basically just bowl your way through anything. And then you just kind of fucking look around and see what you see. Some people might tell you a few things of interest, but, more often than not, you're just kind of wandering in the dark. It's funny because, when you think about it in that most basic term, the basic description, it doesn't seem like much of a game. But the setup really appealed to me, especially later on we get to the tougher monsters and you like that one guy, you figure out, you know, what hurts a monster better than what you're doing, you know, like, you know, some monsters are going to be more susceptible to magic, some more susceptible to physical attacks. So these are things that you have to consider during your run. Although it doesn't look it, because remember, we're still pretty early on. So there's gonna be a lot of enemies you can just fucking slice. You know, the only enemy that we've had to mix it up with for so far has been the scorpion. And he's earned it, certainly. He earned it. Goodbye, bitch. And another dead. Hey, look, a ghost. And he died. And he dies pretty easy too. So now the gold is coming relatively fast. You know, you're not dealing with a lot of enemies that give you 2 and 3 gold anymore. Now you're at around this level of experience, you're getting more. You're getting 6s, you're getting 8s, you're getting 10s. So it's a very I don't know. I don't feel comfortable going through that stage yet. That's when you start getting skeletons. So we turn right the fuck back around. And find a place to shack up for a little while. Because this has been going on for 40 minutes, and that's it's quite a bit. It's quite a bit. Actually, you know what? Let's go back to the castle. I want to show you how you're supposed to save in the game. Damn, son. One bites the dust. So we're going through and kicking the crap out of everything that comes our way. Jeez. Isn't it funny how the highest concentration of monsters is at the end of the video? I think that's hilarious, personally. Come on. And there's the castle. First, let me see something real quick at Breckenary. I think I have enough for a shield now. Yep, enough for a shield. Which gives us a few more points of defense. Nah, I'm good, homie. Help me out. And with that done, we are off to the castle. Now, the game doesn't have a save anywhere feature, because of course not. Can't be too convenient. You know, you have to have a system that's very fucking annoying before you have to go to school, and so you end up losing a bunch of progress because you have to go. Talk to the king. Ah, Jesus, you've returned. I'm delighted. To reach the next level, you will need 40 experience. Shall I record your journey in the Imperial Scrolls of Ani? Yes, you will. Which scroll would you like me to write to? It has certainly been recorded. Would you like to continue the journey? I'm good. When you're tired, it is a bad idea to continue on in battle. Even soldiers must get their rest. I shall await your return, Zeus. And with that, we're done. I'd like to thank you guys for joining us for the first episode of Dragon Quest. He's hoping to see you guys again soon. Have a good day. Enjoy yourselves out there. And God bless.